Alright, so would you like to do the information of the spawning locations whilst I quickly fix that up?
Certainly. I believe this map is... I'm not actually sure what version it is, but this is Shakura's Plateau. This is a Terran versus Terran in Team Knight versus QED in the FSCT, which is the Fusion Slugs clan tournament. In the top right of Shakura's Plateau, we do have spawning as the blue Terran from QED, Bloodmyst. And in the top left, spawning as the red Terran, we have from Team Knight, FaithHunter.
Fantastic. Alright. Thank you for clearing that up. Alright, cool. So, alright, so Bloodmyst, I'm just trying to remember, by memory, does he play much different than Atsy's kind of style of turtle till you're safe, I guess, and then hit when you can, or I guess that's the standard Terran play, actually. Is there any, like, kind of little interesting facets, I should say, to his play that's different to any other kind of Terrans?
Yeah, well, Atsy, he really loves his bio compositions. He uses bio in actually every matchup, so he's really comfortable with playing aggressive and really looking to drop and really play, up in your face if you're the enemy. Whereas actually Bloodmyst does prefer a bit more of a passive game. He will be looking to probably play very positional on this map, Shakura's Plateau, with, I'm guessing he's going to be using Marine Tank because that would be his favoured style on this map, considering... Oh dear.
It's only a matter of time.
As I was saying, yeah, the split map that we do have on Shakura's Plateau, where really any push has to be funneled through this central area between the watchtowers, really allows for really good positional control with Marine Tank. He will look to sit the tanks on top of the watchtower. We have seen that from him before. If you cast your mind back to the Time of Rising versus QED clan war, where actually QED's Bloodmyst did pick this map against Time of Rising's Spook, and they had a really great game with some really interesting positional play. So drops will be really important on this map to kind of bypass the central location where pushes are going to get funneled into and absolutely decimated by tanks. So yeah, Bloodmyst will be looking to take gas probably earlier than we saw Atsy taking gas.
Yeah.
But he will look to start out with a bio force, obviously getting the 1-ranks expand up really quickly, and then he will transition into heavy tank with Marines, obviously Marines, some medevacs, and maybe even some Vikings just to maintain the air control.
Yeah, now I like the decision by FaithHunter here to do an in-base CC. He will lose, of course, the time that it takes to fly over and get established with the mining, but he's been able to set his base up in such a way that Bloodmyst has no idea that it exists, at least at this time. So Bloodmyst has to kind of keep scouting every now and again. He might have to spend a few scans that he doesn't necessarily want to, or at least sacrifice a few more units just to kind of tick things off the list of what could possibly be coming at him.
Yeah, I don't think this will actually affect Blood's build too much at the moment, because he will be looking to throw down a bunker eventually, and more often than not you'll see a lot of Terrans using the first 50 energy once the orbital and the natural actually finishes morphing, using that into a scan to just check what tank path the opponent is going down. So if he does do that, he will be confirming that his opponent is actually going for a 1-ranks expand.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have both players now getting their spaces established, with Bloodmyst going to be maintaining a little bit of an economic edge, managing to get down that CC on the low ground. But yeah, as you said, he does maintain, FaithHunter will maintain the element of surprise for just a little bit longer.
Yeah. And I like the decision by both players to throw down that bunker again. I don't know why. What is happening with that? That was loud. Alright, so...
I believe that's Fridge trolling.
Alright, yeah, so anyway, so with Oh, and a factory coming down as well from Faith Hunter. So with the amount of gas that he's going, he's probably looking at maybe as soon as as the factory finishes, just throwing down that reactor on it and then transitioning into medevacs. But yeah, no, it's fairly safe builds at the moment from both players. Bloodmyst just moving all his marines up to that kind of drop point in his base just in case something comes out. But yeah, no, it's going to be a bit of a passive moment from both players at the moment. And yeah.
Just both going to be getting established into the mid game where they will have their reactors with the medevacs up, and getting the upgrades from the engineering base started is really the most important thing at the moment for both of them. And yeah, just playing a bit passive for the moment, as you said, setting up for the mid game. And actually, I think the timing on both of their engineering base was just a little bit late for it to line up with a nice timing push for the medevacs. But we do see quite a bit of a differentiation in the build here, which is quite important to note actually. Faith Hunter will be going for tanks from the factory straight away. Actually threw down a tech lab on that factory, I believe, and now is throwing down the starport, the reactor on the starport, rather than opting to do a switch over to get those medevacs out just a bit faster, which will delay his medevacs by quite a while from Bloodmysts. But as we saw last game, that really doesn't mean that he's at any sort of a huge advantage in terms of winning the game or anything, but it will allow his drops to get out just a bit faster. But on the flip side, it will allow him to get tanks out a bit faster. So we'll see how that plays into this map and these close air positions.
Yeah, interesting. Both players actually got supply blocked on 62. So that's... Oh, I don't know, that was just a bit weird. That was a bit what's the word I'm trying to say? A bit supernatural or something like that. A bit spooky that both got like supply blocked on the exact same kind of mark. Looks like Bloodmyst has actually been able to make the most out of it so far, throwing down his third command center. So it looks like he's going to be trying to make the most out of this passive game as it progresses so far, and he's probably going to be able to maybe catch this SEV. He sees it, and the SEV is going to make its way up to try and scout if there is a third base or not at the moment.
Yeah, and actually the SCV does see the positioning of that bioforce, and he does now know that Bloodmyst will be looking to push out with at least combat shield and a couple of medevacs. Actually, I don't know if he has stim yet, obviously, but he will be looking to exploit a timing attack similar to how Atsi did in the last few games that we saw from him. But yeah, as we saw, as I mentioned before, the engineering bay for both were a bit late, and actually Bloodmyst didn't start his we are going to have an engagement in the middle here.
Nicely done.
Yeah, just managing to get one hit off with one of the tanks, but really good game sense there by Bloodmyst, managing to pull back all of his forces before really taking any sort of losses at all.
So it looks like Faith Hunter wants to kind of set up a bit of a contain in the middle at least, or just trying to establish his third base, I guess. Yep, so that's coming down as well, so that'll be why he's kind of set up these tanks in the kind of layout they're in at the moment. Just gives him vision, or not vision, but kind of a defensive perimeter, I guess I'll say, just across at least two of the entrances quite well.
Yeah. Actually, he was trying to establish a bit of middle positional control, which is what is really the key in this map. But actually, Bloodmyst is going to bypass the kind of perimeter defense that Faith Hunter has set up, dropping into the main. And actually, there is a tank in here that could see that behind that line. In a great position here, actually, with Bloodmyst. This position really is almost unassailable by Marines, and just decides to pick up a medevac and drop on top of it, but it could potentially get sniped by the Marines, and actually Bloodmyst just going to have free reign over Faith Hunter's mineral line, and smartly Faith Hunter does go and build a tank, but he has lost an entire mineral line of SCVs in his main now. 19 SCVs killed for Bloodmyst, but only one of Faith Hunter. And now Bloodmyst going to take a commanding lead in this game, managing to establish his third already. It's already up and running as an orbital, and he has a huge 60 supply lead over his opponent at the moment.
Yeah, no, he's just going to make sure he doesn't do the same kind of thing that unfortunately happened to Atsi in that last game, where he had a lead as well, but just that one unfavourable engagement kind of spelt the end for him. So he's just got to... Yeah, he's
and
just
actually,
gotta, yeah.
Faith looking to counter drop, but it was spotted by the medevacs of Bloodmyst returning to the main army, so he is going to drop his own base now, just to defend from the drop that is coming from Faith Hunter, and might even catch this medevac out of position. No, it does pull it back, so Faith Hunter with the good micro and awareness to pull that back, does manage to avoid some unnecessary losses there. Bit unlucky to catch those medevacs as they were flying past though.
Yeah, interesting that he chooses to actually set up his third kind of at the position that it is, rather than using the vision that he gets from that sensor tower and displacing it down there. And also that he's morphing it into a planetary fortress. That's kind of an interesting position, but Bloodmyst might just... So he's going to see that drop at least coming, so maybe he'll be able to get some units in position to kind of stop that from doing any damage before it can.
Yeah, and as you were saying just now, the pocket third is really nice to defend from any sort of drop play, but it can play against that at the same time. It can be a bit of a double-edged sword, as you can fall victim to some really obnoxious elevator play from the mineral line of the third up into the main, and some sort of shenanigans like that. But we do have a drop coming from Faith Hunter here into the middle line of Bloodmyst now. He is going to pull all the SCVs away. Faith Hunter is just going to have a bit of a field day on these supply depots, and actually is going to hardcore supply Lord Bloodmyst here, managing to take out a couple of depots. Will put him 20 supply into the red. Actually, might lose a couple of medevacs for free here. The turret isn't core, just manages to not take out that medevac, and he does actually get away with every single marine, choosing to leave one behind to make sure he gets the last hit on the depot there. But we do also have a drop in the line of the natural, and a lot of SCVs fried there from Faith Hunter, and the balance is swinging back in his favour now. 20 SCVs killed to 19, and he will actually manage to pick up his tank. So really great double drop here, stretching the multitasking of Bloodmyst.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting...
It does get cleaned up, but...
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to be able to actually take the work lead after that initial drop from Bloodmyst, but he's back in front, and Bloodmyst in a bit of an kind of a scary area here, as both armies are now moving out to meet in the centre of the field.
Oh, this is very dangerous. Who's going to get the siege up first? Faith Hunter actually does get a nice siege up, and actually Bloodmyst just going to charge in and take out all the tanks, catching the marines just pulling back a bit too far. Not even going to siege up this tank actually. Is he going to kill all the tanks? Oh, he's just lost the entire army. And that's really unfortunate for Bloodmyst. He's now dropped so far behind in the supply count, and he actually did have the army value read just before, but he has got his army in the middle shut down, and there's not a lot back at home to defend from a follow-up push from Faith Hunter, and it looks like that's what's going to be coming here. Bearing down on the third base. Bloodmyst now transferring 2 mineral lines worth of workers back into his natural just to make sure that they're safe from the counter-attack, and Faith Hunter managing to pull one really good engagement out in the centre there, and it's really going to be a game changer this time.
Yeah, Bloodmyst is going to need to lift this third base if he wants to save it, whilst he also drops in the main as well, so he's spreading Bloodmyst a bit too thin here, I think. It looks like he's building a bit of the counter drop from Bloodmyst as well gets taken out, so I think Faith Hunter might have just actually taken this game back in the same sense that he did with Atsi in that game just before as well.
Yeah, potentially he could get a bit cocky here and push up the ramp, but no, he will just decide to play it safe, get a nice spread on his tanks and pull back for the moment, which is really smart. Might even look to elevator up into the main, as I was talking about before, from that third mineral line, but I think he is going to err on the side of caution here for the moment and just siege up and start to contain Bloodmyst as Faith does now take his fourth base and starts to out expand, and he will now start to out macro his opponent.
Yeah, no, I think Bloodmyst is in a tough situation. He's doing exactly what Atsi did, where he just goes for the Hail Mary Doom drop. Now, the question will be, it looks like Faith Hunter actually got that scan off in time that he'll be able to spot that drop. We at least saw the medevacs for it moving out, but looks like that was quickly
Marines actually...
denied.
Yeah, the Marines are actually loading up here in the medevac in a couple of medevacs for a drop here, and he actually will spot this hidden third base, so I'm going to deny this even more mining for Bloodmyst, and it could potentially even get this command center with just these 2 carloads of Marines.
Yeah, no, definitely
yeah, it looks like he won't be able to save that in time. It's just another nail in the proverbial coffin for Bloodmyst at the moment. He needs as few of those as he can possibly get at the moment. But yeah, he is going to actually just move these double medevac drop into the main. Still full medevac, 5 medevacs worth of Marines inside these medevacs for Bloodmyst, and he actually takes care of that force with very few losses, taking out all of the Marines and nearly killing both medevacs.
Yeah, no, but it's just
on
going to be tough.
Bloodmyst's store at the moment, there is a huge amount of siege tanks just slowly pressing forward as he knows that he can, and yeah, it's going to need a miracle engagement for Bloodmyst to pull this around and turn it around. And what he really needs to do here is make something happen by essentially getting a fabulous engagement that just turns the tide.
He's going to drop on top of the tanks.
Oh yeah, actually doesn't do as much damage as he needs to here. The Marines were in position with everything here.
Here comes the charge.
He doesn't have any, he's not got anything left at the moment, so I think we are going to see the GG once again.
Yeah.
FaithHunter playing really strong in this matchup actually last time, proving really solid even despite huge amounts of pressure from his opponents, able to weather the storm and take the game.
Yeah, GG comes out now, and I think that pushes Team Night Out to match or game point out to 4-2.
It does indeed.
So we're going to need someone from QED to come out and kill 3 times, just to give them any hope or chance at kind of pulling this back for QED. So guys, we're going to go on what could be our final break. So stick with us, and we'll be back after this.
Minter.